Hi, this is Mary Kay. Today I'm going to be painting a Aurora Borealis scene. This is the stock photo that I'm using. First thing is that we're going to use two different colors that I don't normally use. We're going to be using Winsor Violet and Winsor Green Blue shade. And we're going to be using luminescence acrylics, Pearlescence white. This is an acrylic paint and you can't get it in your palette. It will ruin it. So we're going to keep this separate in a little cup. This is for the end to make it look sort of misty. So the first thing I have to do with this stock photo is make it into a good painting. You'll notice that the horizon line is virtually in half. So we either need to raise or lower that. Do you want to increase the sky or the river? So I'm going to increase the sky. So I just need to lower this horizon line down. Not much, just a little bit. And it's not perfectly straight, and that's fine because there's trees there. And the next thing is that this river is going right out the corner of the page. So we don't want the river to go out the corner of the page. We want it to come in about here, and it can be wider than it is. It gets skinnier as it goes up, and we'll make it it just disappears before it gets up there. So those two things. In class, I'll have we're going to paint this on a 1/8 sheet, and I will actually have drawn that in for you. So the first thing to do is let's just start with the sky. There's a little bit of green in my brush from the last time I painted with these colors. I have never seen the Aurora Borealis, but I've painted them many times, and it is, I'd say, my top thing I want to see in life. Alrighty, I'm going to start with the green. I'm going to mix it with a lot of water. Now, if you want to, you can even put a little yellow into that. Not as much as I just did, but some of that's kind of yeah, okay, that's good, I think. And I'm going to swoop it down to here. So I'm going to make everything kind of swoop to here. I envy everyone who's ever seen these. Now I'm going to go in with a little bit more green, and I'm going to put it kind of on the edges of that to darken this corner. Is that enough of that color? I think so. Now I'm going to go into the purple. It's violet, actually. And I'm going to go in between here. And I'm going to add a little bit more violet for this corner up here. Take a little bit of now there's some darker colors right near that horizon line. And what I'm going to do is mix the green and the purple, and you're going to see I get blue. So that's such a fun I'm kind of losing that swoopy. There's not really a white spot in the sky. It's kind of a little bit of a, I'm just gonna put in a couple little darker spots here. All right, I think I better stop. The less on this, probably the better. Although that right in there is really pretty. That greeny blue color up here. Let me see if I can do it. That's drying, so I've let it get a little bit too. I'm gonna mess it up if I keep going. Okay, I gotta stop. Alrighty, so there's my sky. And I think what I'm gonna do next is just put in, basically it's just kind of a wet, just a little bit of water in my brush. I need to paint in some colors into the snow. And you could really just paint that whole, you could go over the river because it's going to be so much darker. Really, we could just go over the whole bottom. You just want to have color on the snow. It's not perfectly white. And mix those two together and sort of put some little I don't know if they're pathways, maybe they're just sort of snow gets crunchy. Putting like a little bank. And then here there's kind of a light area. It sort of softens. So we're making that look like snow. And now we're going to go in with the really bright colors. I do see a little bit of yellow in that. So I'm not gonna wet this. So I want, am I gonna wet it? Do I wanna wet this water? I think I do. And this is going to be the darkest part of the painting, is here in the foreground. Okay, so now that, yeah, that's wet. Okay, and now, so in the photo, the bright green is near here, which is good, but mine is here. So this is where I have to make my dark green. I have to look like at my picture and see where is that. So I'm going to put it down here. And now I'm going to go in with much more pigment on the violet mixed with the green. And I'm going to darken the bottom of this. The edges of the banks over here. Oops, that was Antwerp. I didn't want to do that. I'm losing my focus here. So used to going into Antwerp. Okay, so here's some little. And just putting My brush is split here, so I'll get a better point on it. And I'm gonna kind of, I just rinsed out my brush. I'm gonna soften these because I think they're a little bit too loose. Okay. Move my bank there. I think it's okay though. This can even go back there. Okay, I like that. Now the last thing to do is just put in that tree. I don't like this mark here. I'm going to try to lift it. We'll see. These colors are both very staining. So once they go down, they're almost impossible to lift, especially, I'll just, yeah, okay. That's better, but okay. Alrighty. I'm just kind of messing with the shadows in the snow right now. I can see I don't really like this edge being so low. Oh, I got some green in. Okay, well, it's a mistake. Sometimes the mistakes are the best part. I'm gonna leave it like that, I think. Okay, now I'm just gonna put in these trees. So these trees are, I'm gonna use the same colors. The green and the violet. And try to get these almost like mixed out of the tube. Let's see how they go. All right, let's go with that one. Okay, so it's just, see if it might be too dark. What's it gonna do? It's gonna be too dark? It's pretty dark. Now, I have only been on an Alaskan cruise. I haven't ever lived there. But I understand the trees are much shorter. I think I'll put a few right in here. Where do I want my eye to go? Right to here. So if I put a tree right there, it'll go right there. That'll be my focal point. I'll put a big tree right here. And my eye will go there. I kind of covered up that nice spot, so I guess that's always a risk. And now I'm going to rinse out my brush, and I'm going to get some of this to blend down, just sort of be a little heavier in my snow there. Oh, I like that it's rough in here. Okay, I think that's it. I wish I had signed this. Is it too late? Yeah. I think I'm just going to stop there. Okay. Now, when you're done with your painting, we're going to use this Pearlescence white to go over it, but it does have to be dry. So if you're working on two pieces at once, you can let one dry. I need to blow dry this, so hang on. Again, I just want to emphasize that you can't let this paint into your palette. So I'm just making a little puddle of this acrylic paint. And now I'm just going to paint across. It doesn't look like much when it's going on like this. Takes more than I thought. Okay, now we're going across. Okay, oh yeah, that softens those and makes them shiny. I still wish this were signed. You have to be careful. Sometimes the acrylic paint will catch and bleed, make it move, so just to be a little careful there. Okay. I'm going to lift this up. You can see that it has that shine to it. I missed a couple spots. Should I just leave it alone or try to cover it up? There, I think I'll stop with that. Oh, yeah, it's good enough. All right, there's our winter scene of Aurora Borealis. Thanks for watching.